You know, lately we've been feeling kind of tired, kind of down, like it's a bit grindy, the game. You know, we're just trying to cross that finish line. That'll be the war within. But are WoW players just jaded? Is WoW just a game that's just because significantly worse over time? I don't like to do the negative talk, but let's see what Bellular and friends have to say about WoW and WoW players being jaded.
Yeah, so this is a reminder
Reddit post.
we may be jaded. Because...
You'd never think, listening to this stream, you'd never think that.
Yeah, and also this is literally a picture from the WikiHow of like what to do if you're jaded. And I read it and I was like, wait,
What
actually
to do
this
if
is
you're
kind of
jaded.
important advice.
How does the WikiHow art happen?
I assume someone draws it.
Because it's
I assume lots of people draw it.
like some of it's a real classic. Just like the bullshit. So, right, what it is. Somebody made a Reddit post, and let's see, what do they say?
This has got to be a significant amount. It's honestly me. I haven't been able to play or touch any other game since I started playing WoW. Yep, it tends to do that. It does, and you know, like right now, NCAA came out. You know, college football. I'm a big college football fan. I want to play it, but I just keep playing WoW, and I don't even like playing WoW right now. I'm just trying to get to the war within, and I'm still playing WoW. I don't know what's wrong with me sometimes, but yeah, it's been a significant part of my gaming life, and the majority of my gaming life has been just playing WoW.
I haven't been able to touch any other game since I've started WoW. My God, not even touch. I'm 25 years old. I've been a very passionate gamer ever since my early teenage years. My Steam library contains 300 and something titles. I usually enjoy mixing things up, playing 6 different games at a time. God, I don't need more limbs. Sometimes, when I'm particularly indecisive, I'll even let chance decide which game to start. Set a 1-hour timer and switch to a different one afterwards. Even you triple it. That's insane.
I couldn't. I need to I need to play one game until it's done mostly. Jeez, oh.
Even the new triple.
This guy's got scatterbrain. I could never. Man, he's just playing multiple games, setting a timer and switching between them.
I found myself really excited in advance, and now they bore me quickly.
Same.
2 weeks ago, I started WoW. That's how our story begins. I was rather skeptical because I'm really not one of those gamers who appreciate old games for the nostalgia of it.
That hurt to read.
Oh my God, it's so weird to hear WoW called an old game. It's like, oh, that's a classic, Dad. Yeah.
Especially because it's a new game.
Yeah, they're playing modern.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're playing modern.
I
but they're saying
started
it's old.
by doing the free trial. I have not been able to think about any other game since. Putting a finger on what it is fascinates me so much. So much is difficult. Perhaps it's the huge variety of races and classes. Is this... Ian, did you write
It
this?
sounds a bit like a plant, right?
Are we...
Codicia, you were just saying the same thing. You're like, this sounds kind of fishy. Did Ian post this? I have no idea.
Are we astroturfing here? What's
We
going on?
We might be.
Perhaps, it's the great variety of quests and races. Or that you can seamlessly switch between
Sounds like an
solo and multiplayer content. That's it. No backing out of your menu in Call of Duty, like to load in the multiplayer components like you had to do back in the days of COD 2. No. Seamless. That's Azeroth. This person is obsessed.
An AI post.
Wild. So that person's happy. Well, maybe the point is...
Well, one thing about MMOs in general and WoW is really that when you're playing an MMO, there's no one way to really play it. Like, there are certain end game pieces of content that are like very much core to an MMO. But in reality, you can play an MMO for a significant amount of time, like World of Warcraft, because if you get sick of doing something, rather than switching a game, you just switch what you're doing in the game, right? So, like, you could be raiding, and you're like, I don't feel like doing hardcore stuff right now. I want to go on a mount hunt. Or I'm sick of mount hunting. I'll just do some professions right now. You know, there's always those extra things that you can do in the game that'll just keep you in the game. And that's why playing an MMO like WoW just kind of significantly takes away from time from other games. Because other games, there's only one way to play it. So if you get sick of that, you gotta take the game out, put something else in. For an old metaphor, I know people now just freaking download everything. But that's what I'm saying. So there's so much to do in an MMO. And a lot of times it's not even significant things, like just off-brand shit that you just feel like doing, collecting transmog, whatever it is, that'll just keep the game going and keep it feeling somewhat fresh as you play for hours within a single day.
is
So
our
I mean,
comment.
even though this post kind of does seem kind of weird, there is some truth to them saying about single player, multiplayer, and different aspects of the game.
Who has said that's so
Keeping 'em
true?
in.
I started. What the hell? That's so true. I genuinely feel like I'm being toyed with here. That's so true, dude. I started the end of Shadowlands Season 4, and since then it's been nothing but
My God, this guy's a Shadowlands baby. Those things exist. Somebody started playing WoW during Shadowlands. Oh my
fun.
God.
Don't speak the microphone.
Oh my God.
Don't scream.
Oh, you have to for effect.
Be loud. Don't
It's been nothing but fun.
Now, I'm just eagerly
Who is this person?
for the War Within pre-patch. He's just
Bless their
Eagerly.
soul.
Eagerly what?
I even
wanna know.
took a week off work to play without
Imagine picking up World of Warcraft and you're like, oh, this game is cool. Looks like a game about orcs and humans and wars and stuff. And the first thing you do is you go to the fucking Shadowlands and meet the jailer and this council of fucking weird looking people and fairies and all. And you're like, damn, nothing like I expected. And that's what you think WoW is. What the and all you've ever known is like, Anduin crying, and it's what a weird intro to this game. I have to be honest, Shadowlands babies, I wonder how their mind works.
stress on the first week. Everyone always asking stuff like, is it still worth?
It's true. It's
Should
only
I
been
come
up
back?
since then. That's true.
I've always answered
started
with
at
a
the
big
floor.
yes. Enjoy your WoW hype. There you go.
So I believe by most of chat it is definitely a paid actor or some sort of Blizzard plant or something.
Yeah, this is so weird. It's so weird. Like if the first post wasn't, an indication of this could be some kind of planted post, the reply to the post.
Let us lay waste to this realm.
Yahweh, thanks for the follow, man. Welcome to our Scourge. For some reason, I thought you were already following. But it's the reply to the post that makes this seem extra fishy. Like, seriously? The replies that I would expect to see are like, bro, what the F are you talking about? This game sucks. Dead game. Those are the things I'm expecting to see. Not somebody else talking about how playable this game is and how they can't get enough of it. And they started in Shadowlands. Oh my God, that by itself seems suspicious.
There's even, dead internet theory, paid actors, checking PC,
AI.
Yeah, there's there's an entire population of WoW players we clearly have never met. Exactly, yes. And this is why I wanted to bring it up, because it might be astroturfing, it might be, it might be someone at Blizzard toying with, how can I AI generate some Reddit shit? Like,
They're just like, oh, we need to increase the company bonus.
And it got upvoted by 5 times too. The reply did. But is it still worth it? Should I come back? The answer is always yes.
Come on.
yeah, it's just here's
We all know how negative Reddit can be. There is no way this post got 5 upvotes.
Nikki 44903
Something weird's
saying,
going on
it's like it is weirdly written, right? Because perhaps it is the huge variety of races and classes to play with, the enormity of the story content, and then there's also you can seamlessly switch between solo and MP content . It's like it sounds a little bit like someone
Culty.
took an AI post and decided to make it seem a little bit more natural.
Right.
But then the person who puts this wouldn't make it natural. They would just ask her for the AI shit and call it a day. But like, they call WoW, full capitals in the middle of the post.
Full cap.
But at the start,
Damn.
in the title, there's none. You're like, man, this is just how Gen Z and Gen Alpha sound. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like,
Actually, I back whenever Google Gemini was giving people very comedic answers, I asked it about, like, it was some Zoomer word. I think it was what cap is. What does cap mean?
It's what is bust in you.
And
Popped in you.
Gemini kind of said, a person may say this, particularly if they're experiencing brain rot. And I just felt that feeling of like,
it's a pretty good reply.
The English language is evolving and it's now a little different. Oh no,
cap.
I'm uncomfortable. Which I have to imagine people have been feeling for, about language for thousands of years.
Yeah. This is post
What's he talking about? What is he talking about? Shakespeare would have loved to hear things like skibbity toilet riz. What are you talking about?
is something that if it was posted on X,
The language
would
is
Elon
great
Musk
right now.
respond with interesting.
We're at the height of the English language, no doubt.
Concerning. Looking into this.
That's the genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like I don't think this is AI. I completely agree with who's it said. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like they said. I guarantee there are real people who write.
I
This
don't think this is AI, and it could be a real post. Like there are, believe it or not, guys, as negative as the internet sounds, there are people who like WoW. A lot of them are here. I happen to be one of them. We still enjoy playing WoW. You know, as we know there's problems with it, but it's still the game we choose to play most of the time. So to find somebody this passionate about the game right now, it's interesting. But it could be real. Doesn't mean it's not real. It's just some of the ways they talk about it kind of seem fishy. That's it.
way in scenarios where they're
And
dressed
that reply is the weirdest one of all.
an audience of people they don't know. Like it has like the I have to be a little bit more formal, and I have to think about it, and I'm like kind of being a little bit thinky about it. But also there's times where they just kind of type whatever was natural to them, and I feel like that's like the that's you see a lot of posts like that, and you go, this is clearly just someone who's just posting something. Just posting something because they felt like posting it and they didn't really think about it, or they're using.
Do we all just have trauma and see something broken and we're like, I can fix you? Maybe. Maybe. Are we all just holding on to nostalgia? I don't know. You were my first. It's kind of like, wow, pop my MMO cherry. Maybe I'm just attached to it because of that. Maybe it's just I've already invested so much time that if I left the game, I'd feel like, well, I wasted a significant portion of my life now. Who knows why we continue to play. But I will say I've had very joyous moments, even in recent times in Dragonflight, where I found myself just saying, man, I do love to play this game. I do. And of course the opposite has happened. But for the most part, I think WoW is my favorite game. What can I say?
Username, like
Who knows what the reason
When
is?
scrolling to Reddit, I scrolled past X.
Sorry to hear that.
I have now seen Mark Matlock,
Who?
the potentially AI-generated candidate for
yes.
Parliament. That's hilarious. What the hell?
Sunk
See,
cost fallacy,
like,
maybe.
nobody feels leveling in Chromie time is peak gameplay. People don't talk like that unless they're reading a marketing blurb. But if you're,
See, the thing, for some people,
I actually
no.
disagree. I actually think this is probably legitimate.
Just in my head. Imagine if you've only played modern games,
Yeah,
where, in so many modern games, story is the 90-minute or the 90-second cutscene that happens with each new season of the live service.
That's
That's
true.
soft.
I mean, he's talking about Fortnite, basically. Like Fortnite, every season that kicks off, the story is essentially the launch trailer for the season, and that's about it. You get your 90 seconds of, hey, this is what the game's about now, and we move on from there. And I think with today's generation, that's about as much as they can handle. Like these kids who play Fortnite, they're so cracked out on ADHD medication and everything. Like that's the most story they're going to be able to take. So that's why the gaming industry is how it is now. Now, in terms of like how WoW compares to modern day games, I will say a lot of modern day games suck. So they don't have much competition. You want to talk about games like Elden Ring? Those are shining diamonds in the rough. There's a lot of shit out there, a lot of bad monetization too. So maybe WoW is still playable and fun as a result of the industry as a whole kind of going to shit. Who knows?
In the story, or its item description hints.
I'm here for the daily dose of depression.
It's not really like the way that it is in a game like World of Warcraft. So I can see a certain subset of people actually enjoying that. Perhaps particularly if they've maybe they've been got by the whole sort of modern wave of D&D and fantasy content. Yeah, I could see that. Like, we're definitely jaded. It's almost like a selection criteria for being here.
yeah, and not even like in a necessarily bad way.
Oh yeah, it's
But,
just
like,
we've literally
yeah,
seen shit.
We are
We've just been there for a while.
We are nose blind to the experience of starting to play World of Warcraft and getting talents and getting Exile's Reach being like full of mystery. Even like
Yeah.
Exile's Reach, like I've done it so many times that I look at the bit where you're down in the spider hole and there's the necromancer boy or whatever, and you're escaping the fire on the druid. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever, this is whatever. But I do remember the first time and like that's quite good.
Yeah.
People will go, oh, I rode on a druid out of a spider thing, and they had little like bits of banter about who, the one who hates spiders, and then the druid being upset. Like it's the Drana who says she doesn't like spiders, and like the dwarf says something, and they're like, fuck's sake.
yeah.
And they're like, that's actually like, it's compelling enough. It's not great, it's not amazing, but it's like, it's definitely way better than I would give it credit for. Or, sorry, it's way better than I would experience it
Yeah.
because I'm leveling a character in World of Warcraft that I've been doing for 1 billion years ago.
True. Yeah, I mean, definitely if somebody starts playing the game from now or they play Classic WoW for the first time, their experiences with things are going to be significantly heightened compared to yours because, yeah, we are kind of jaded, right? We've seen the epic moments. We've seen many raid bosses, things like that. Like, if you remember your first time entering a raid, like for me, my first time actually doing like a regular raid was Karazhan, right? Like the original Karazhan. And for me, Karazhan will always be significant because those moments of doing boss fights were so heightened for me. Like, man, the dopamine was just bursting out my ass at that point. I couldn't even handle it. I was so excited, and I was shaking, legitimately shaking at my keyboard because of how like intense the whole thing was. Does that mean Karazhan was the greatest raid ever put in the game? No, no, it wasn't. I'm sure there's tons of raids that are better. In fact, I feel like a freaking go to most recent expansion. I feel like Battle for Dazar Lore was one of the best raids ever made. I love that raid, the story and everything about it. But it still doesn't hold the same value to me as Karazhan because Karazhan was my first. It was my first. It was my cherry popping experience. It was magical. It was memorable, and I'll always remember it that way. But does that mean it's the best raid ever? No. But this is how the new player experiences, and jadedness is why I'll say Battle for Dazar Lore is not as good as Karazhan.
We should really watch
a billion years ago.
We should really watch the Day 9 stuff.
Sam didn't get out much as a kid.
Day 9.
I remember my mom telling me, she's like, it's Friday night, aren't you going to go out with your friends? And I'd be like, I'm playing with my friends right now. What are you talking about? I got to do a raid, Mom. Go away.
The game fresh is certainly interesting. I've seen people talk about that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a strange intersection.
Mess like, but yeah.
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 Oh yeah, yeah, because he's like smart, and that means he's going to latch on to things that don't matter and get really confused.
Yeah, whereas someone who's just like seeing the sights and been kind of going, oh, that's nice, that's pretty, that's nice, that's enjoyable.
It couldn't go any worse than the Game Grumps starting WoW. Paid promotion.
Good times.
That was good times. That was
good times indeed.
That was really fantastic piece of promotional content. I'm sure Blizzard were thrilled.
Oh, yeah.
That was so funny. So there we go. That's the reminder. We might be jaded. And yes, this person certainly is extolling the virtues.
Yeah. Fun video. It is fun to think about these things and how long we've been playing this game, because we've been playing it for a long time. When the person in the post called it an old game, I usually don't like old games. I was like, shit, man, is this game really that old? It is. It truly is an old game with some new skins on it, basically, and that's what modern WoW is today. But overall, am I jaded? Yeah, probably. We're getting a new continent, everything coming in the War Within, and yet it's, I'm just like, yeah, expected. It's fucking a new expansion. I've done 100 of these. What else is it going to be? But do I still enjoy playing the game? I do. Will I continue to play the game? Yes, I will. And you can watch me play it here live on Twitch.